You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. Oh, yeah, lots going on in the world of politics. They have been so excited about this.
What's going on with the countdown?
Oh,
stuff?
my word.
Is that a new trend in news?
Yeah, this has been like a lot of joking going on among people going like, what's the countdown? The countdown is making me nervous. And it's about James Comey.
You know how we always encourage people to check out these things?
Yes.
But then it's also, I guess it's the other side of it, they turned into a circus.
Oh, brother. I mean, it was full Barnum and Bailey.
What happened to C-SPAN?
Well, C-SPAN...
Where it has one shot and they just sit there. Why don't they just film the seat? And that's where you put the countdown. Like, right. This is where he's going to sit.
Yes.
And you definitely see some guy picking his nose in the background.
Of course. Of course. And laughing in inappropriate times when they're talking to somebody, just what someone has said. But the former FBI director, James Comey, is doing his testimony today, which he already released to the public, what his 8-page statement. And the press went ahead and took all of that and, held the trial. And so now he's in there. And it was so funny because the chairman starts out saying, hey, I was going to say, you're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. The chairman didn't say that. I'm saying, you are listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. If I fail to say that right at the beginning, sometimes I forget to do that. But I want to say that, and I want to say that Carley Cremin is in the house with me. And you met Carley the other day. If some of you are still listening, that we're here the other day, and we talked to Carley. And I'm going to talk to her again today. She's such a fascinating guest. We love Carley. So anyway, welcome, Carley. But now I've got to talk about this boring stuff right now. So it's fascinating to me. But if you're keeping up with the news, and and just like Richard said, if you've been clicking through and you get to CNN or you get to some of the Fox was doing it, the countdown, and you wonder, what are they counting down to? And they've got this little picture in the corner of an empty room or people mulling around a room and going like, in 30 hours, James Comey will be sitting at this chair and doing his testimony and his best to discredit the President of the United States. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't say that. But that's what they would say. It is so hilarious. The chairman starts out trying to tell all the people that are there that are going to be questioning him, let's try and not make this political. This is a very serious matter. We want to know about the Russians' involvement in our electoral process. And every time, we've heard people go like, it's, Russia, Russia, Russia. And all I see is the Brady Bunch and the girls standing there going, Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. They have the same inflection and everything. It's just, they distract me. But anyway, so that's what it's supposed to be about. So we're not going to play politics, people. Let's try and keep our questions to what James Comey can actually tell us, and that he doesn't have to say that's going to have to be in private. Let's do this right, okay? All right. Our first question person is going to be the Democrat from Virginia, and he goes on and just rips up Donald Trump in this process as he's making his opening statement. He goes, okay, and now it's time for the questions. So they start asking the questions, and so far it is notes that he took on these meetings that he had with Trump. And someone asked him, did he order you to stop this investigation? No, the word order was never used.
It's almost like he should write a book.
Believe me.
He's good.
He is.
He's very, it's almost kind of creepy how much detail he remembers. Or he's one of those writers who sits down, puts on some like Kenny G or something, and it's like, all right, gotta get the flow going.
I remember the grandfather clock ticking in the background. That's what he said. That's in one of his notes. And he said, I've never taken notes on any other president that I've worked with, Bush or Obama.
Well,
Never took
that's
notes.
the criticism he's getting, Cindy, because he didn't take notes when he was interviewing Hillary Clinton.
That's right. And that's exactly right. He did not put her under, didn't put her under
Can you
sworn testimony.
Maybe because he wrote it and it started getting really, the language barrier wasn't being met, and then it was like, oh, we got to put explicit material on this now.
Well, boy, he threw a former attorney general under the bus, Loretta Lynch, because he said he had to go out there and make that statement. He had to go out there and talk about what Hillary Clinton had done and do that whole thing, because after Loretta Lynch had met with Bill Clinton on the tarmac, he felt like the credibility was gone. And then when Loretta Lynch, and this is the first time I'd heard about this, and I listen to everything.
But you don't read everything.
No.
That's the bad thing.
Shut
So do you want to do
Well,
audiobooks? Should we make audiobooks of
Well,
this?
wait, he says this, and this was a big bombshell, that Loretta Lynch asked him to not say the word, this is an investigation. It's just a matter. That's what he said, that was very disturbing to me. Now, we had not heard that before, but the bus went bump, bump, bump over her after he said that. So they're just getting into it. It just started.
Well, that's what happens when you meet by an airplane.
I'm telling you.
I mean,
I'm telling you, that was the weirdest set of circumstances.
well, what's funny is the public gets to see it, and you're kind of like, okay, what does this mean?
Mm-hmm.
It can only mean like two things. Either one, he forgot, his lunchbox or something like that,
Right.
or there's some type of. I mean, come on.
Well, at least we've now moved past the fact that Trump had asked for 2 scoops of ice cream, and that was the most astounding thing when I saw these anchors who say they're professionals and say they're very serious about their news and all that, talking about the fact that he asked for 2 scoops of ice cream.
Well, I just wonder if there's going to be
What's
a
the
life expectancy of the job for anchors these days. So if you want to become an anchor, like
Yes.
there's probably some 15-year-old who's
Yes.
sitting on YouTube going, I really want to be working for one of those main anchors. But
Right.
I can't imagine the stress it brings when you get home
Mm-hmm.
and people who watch you, and because there's people out there watching you to make fun of you. And now
Right.
it's getting so big where like they're paying attention to every little thing, everything's recorded, and everyone's calling out on everyone's lies and whatever. It's like at one point you're gonna have like a 5-year life expectancy as a news anchor, and then you're like, I'm just done. I'm tired of these people hanging outside my house, calling
Right.
me fake news.
And why would you want to be in this when everybody that surrounds you, wherever you are out in public, and you're going to try and do a stand-up or anything like that, people are videotaping. They've got their iPhone on you, and CNN sets up a deal at a protest, and they bring these people in and have the signs. They're telling them how to hold the signs. Okay, you stand here, and the director is getting them all together at this protest, and then it goes out over the air like this is part of the protest, and these people, look what's going on. This is horrible.
Well, I mean,
somebody-
I think what they do now, like, see, you can argue that point because they shut down the street for police reasons, and they were there already protesting, but they weren't collected, in a sense.
That's
and
what I mean.
So
They set it
even news
up.
organizations, you can look this up, how they shape the news.
Of
So
course,
it's not fake news;
No.
it's shaping the news.
but while they're talking to them and the shot.
Oh
they
no,
have,
I've seen it. Like I saw
Yeah.
the video, but
Okay.
that's just because they're shaping what it looks like. Because those people could have been just on like the other side of the street, just hanging out protesting,
Right.
and they're like, "Oh hey, come over here. We got these cameras over here. Why wouldn't they want to go over there and be in front of cameras and
Well,
put it?"
of course they would. But the deal is if you're supposed to be out there,
Oh well, there's not that
showing
many
what's
people,
going on,
and it's
but they shoot it like there's a lot of people. That's
oh
you know
yeah,
how they shoot
oh
it.
they're shaping it.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well, if you look up, I forgot what the accent CNN was, but they were doing a report at a crime scene. It looked like that she had like the yellow tape behind her and all that kind of stuff. Well, some dude who was like a rescue worker took a picture of it, and they just taped, I think 7 yards of it to the fence, and so that's all it crossed. And then it was just the fields. Like there really wasn't a put up sign or. There wasn't
Right.
anything like they made their own crime scene almost
make it
it look like a crime scene, and yeah,
They did this with in Louisiana during the hurricane, and the girl's out there, and she's talking about how horrible this is, and it's so bad, and all. And she's in a boat on the water. It's just like people are having to do this and all. And behind it with the red cups full of beer, these guys walk past, and it's only up to their calf, and they're looking at her like, why are you acting like this? Why are you doing this? And so they've been caught in all kind of ways. But what I'm saying is that you do something like that to put your integrity in jeopardy, and people have got their phone on you, and so they're taking everything that you're doing, and you still do stupid stuff. So I'm
well, I think things take time, nice. Cindy, and people have been doing these shaping the news practices for over 40 years, 50 years after the war,
right?
And now it's getting to the point where they can't get away with it. That's
no,
what I'm saying.
That's
like,
right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying the longevity of a person who wants to be involved in that industry. Like, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
And
because you are going to be so called out, and you can't get away with anything. It's like Big Brother's now watching you. The cameras have been turned on you.
And that's probably why Trump stays in the Trump Tower thing, because he knows every nook and cranny of it, so he can't be found filming, doing stupid stuff. And,
right.
And it's just one of those things.
Well, what's hard is, and tell me if you agree, that James Comey comes in there, and this is his impression of their meeting. He does not know Trump really, personally, but he is. I'm sure he's going by all the things that are said on the news and all that. So he's doing it. He's doing it himself. He's building up what he thinks of Trump by watching CNN and all that. And so he walks into a meeting with him, and so everything that comes out of his mouth, he's already kind of decided what this is all, what he's trying to do, and everything is nefarious, and it's so silly, because you feel like he didn't have a chance. He did not have a chance.
What that C-SPAN needs to do is they need to invest in 24/7 webcams in different government buildings.
Yeah.
And then that way they can go in and they set up a little tripod on the seat, and they just do a countdown. And then if you go online, you can watch the other things, the other pieces of governments are doing, and you just sit there and watch.
Well,
you give those to the internet trolls,
right.
And you're going to find so many more interesting things.
Amen, brother. But I that's why I watch C-SPAN, because C-SPAN, I'm hearing it straight out of somebody's mouth, and it's not being edited. It is just that one shot sitting there. So you feel like you really got what happened in the timeline. Because I didn't get to see all the testimony, I'm going to go back and have to listen to the bites that they pull out of it and shape the news and shape what he said to me. And that'll drive me crazy. But C-SPAN does a lot of reruns. So I'll get to do the reruns.
I just think it'd be great, because you get those people who have, I don't know how they have this amount of time on their hands, but they just comb through it, and they eat it up, and then they make hilarious videos.
Yes.
And then people get washed with it, and they're like, oh, wow, this really happened? Oh, wow, they said it like that? Oh, man.
Yeah.
And then
that is so true. And I know, Carley, I'm going to bring you in for a minute now.
Oh.
Carley,
well, she's an eligible voter.
Okay.
She has a voice.
She can vote now. I want to know,
I can vote.
how much time do you spend on listening to what's going on politically in the world?
Okay. Honestly,
Yes,
I don't. I listen, but I don't really know what's going on. Okay.
What's crazy, Carley, is I bet you hear more talk of it from Cindy than anywhere else. So we need to broaden. We need to broaden your ears.
I listen to BBC.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about it sometimes. I need to be listening to BBC America, because BBC World Service only talks about America somewhat.
Right.
They're mostly focused on other countries.
And you have to understand that that what they're saying right now, and how they're talking about America, they've been hit with all these terrorist attacks, and then our president was reprimanding the mayor of London for what he was doing or not doing, that they should do more of, and that kind of thing. And then the press got on the fact that he's Muslim, so that's why President Trump is beating up. And that's not true. I mean, he's just telling him, you need to be vetting and you need to be doing what we're trying to do here in America.
Well, it's pretty amazing that we have a leader who seems so directly connected to the world. In a sense of, in the past, when a leader like the President of the United States wanted to make a statement, they would hold a conference or hold a press conference, and it'd be a prepared statement about, this is my official standpoint. But you have somebody now who, I mean, I'm kind of thankful because I can see in 20 years from now, instead of Twitter, he goes on YouTube.
Yeah.
And can you imagine whatever Donald Trump's saying on Twitter translated into a YouTube video of someone like him pointing, him doing like his hand gestures and talking about how great it is. But I mean, that's because he's a character in himself. But I mean, like in the future, the new leader, he comes out with a video the next day and he's like, "Did you see what they said in London?"
Yeah.
Like that stuff. And it's almost like it becomes propaganda.
No,
direct from the mouth.
Right. But when he can reach the millions that he's reaching, and it's the millions that he's reaching, the numbers to that cannot compare to any television.
Well, what's great about it is there's no, what's the word for it, Cindy, where you do checking. Because when he did that cafe thing, when he everybody was trying to figure out what it meant.
Yes.
And like if you I mean, like even people who aren't doing political reporting, they're like, what does this mean? And I mean, you're getting people always questioning every little thing he's talking about.
He must be laughing watching them try and make something out of. He was, he said coverage and
people are going to be so sick of it. Year two, when the year two of the presidency, Cindy, you're probably the only person going to be talking about stuff.
I may be the only one that is talking about it, but I'm fascinated by people that we think of being so smart, so brilliant. Oh, they're anchors. They would never lie. It's on television. We know it's the truth because it's on. I remember people saying stuff like that. I remember feeling that way. Is that they wouldn't say it if it wasn't true.
The reason why I listen to BBC is because they broadcast it in a way that makes sense, and I listen to other news sites, and I don't know, they just make it sound so sad.
And well, they doomsday, yes. Speaking of doomsday, we've got to go to a break. Okay, so we're going to be right back. Please don't go away, and I'm going to bring Carley into this conversation. We're going to talk about things that you don't even know existed. And she's going to bring the awareness to us, and I'm going to talk about my experience with the hearing impaired, and she's going to talk about the visually impaired, and we're going to talk about things they have in common and things that they like and dislike about their disability. That's what they're going to talk about. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anyway, we will be right back. You're listening to Cindy Cochran Show, Real Reality Radio. Oh, yeah.
Every week I get asked the same two questions. Am I ready to retire? Will my savings last for our lifetime? Hi, this is Chris Wooten with Wooten Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. If these two questions are on your mind, we'd like to help. We have a simple, introductory client experience that allows us to get to know you and includes a few meetings for you to kick the tires at no charge. We'll provide you with a one-page summary that helps you get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for you. To take the first step to a clear direction for your retirement, call Wooten Financial at 936-449-5952. That's 936-449-5952. Or visit us on the web at wootenfinancial.com. That's WOOTTON financial.com. Get started today.
We're back on the Cindy Cochran Show, and want to thank our sponsor, Wooten Financial Group. Wooten, WOOTTON Financial Group. If you want to know more about them, you can certainly go to my Facebook page. My show page on irlonestar.com, irlonestar.com. and go to my show page, and there they are with all the information that you can get a hold of them. Wooten Financial Group. So I have Carley Cremin with me. And Carley, if you're just now joining us, Carley has been around the station for a while. She's interned.
3 years to be exact, I think.
3 years to be exact.
3 or 4.
Okay.
Something like that.
Something like that.
I don't know anymore. Since Conroe Coffee has been open.
Yeah, it goes by so fast, doesn't it, Carley?
Yeah.
So she's been with us. And Carley is amazing. And she just happens to be visually impaired. I'm not going to say blind because it isn't like she sees just black. She is, there's shadow variations. Is that correct?
Yes. There's shadows. There's light.
Okay.
That's it.
Right. And so that's what keeps it from being, someone saying that you're blind. But the politically correct way is to say visually impaired. Now, when I worked with the deaf for so long, and they would be amused when people would try and say they're hearing impaired, because they go, "There's nothing impaired, there's nothing to be impaired. I have no hearing," and so they would get upset. They said, "I'm deaf, and that's what I am," and they were like proud of that, and because a long time ago they called them deaf and dumb. And that was very offensive, of course, because the word dumb certainly held another meaning. And so they got very upset with that, and they changed that over to where it was just the deaf. And then later on, people started calling them hearing impaired. And they just had their own feelings about anyone trying to make it seem like what it was. It's they cannot hear a thing, not a thing. There's nothing that they can hear. And so when the operations came out that they could implant in their brain a signal, make them have the semblance of hearing sounds and all, people that I knew would say, "I would never get that done because I'm deaf," and because it was an identity to them, and that's what they liked about it. This was their world. They didn't want to be able to hear and then have to be put in the hearing world because they were at odds with the hearing world a lot of times. And so they liked being deaf and in their own deaf community. So I had conflicted feelings about when I would hear, people talk about where they're going with the technology or where they're going with different advances for the deaf. The thing that the deaf appreciated the most was that when line 21 on the TV screen became a place where they could put captioning, and they could have captioning on a lot of different programs. And so they started, experimenting with that. That got better and better, and now they have it where everything can be captioned because they're doing it by the spoken word, and so that's exciting for the deaf people. They say a lot of times it goes by too fast, and it seems like it's skipping, and they're right, because I'm always I have the captioning on all the time because in case I want to turn the sound down or something's happening, and they do skip around a lot. But it's a technology that they really did like that advancement. Now, for the visually impaired, it became where they started having the recording, not the recordings, but they were explaining what was going on the screen. And so, what do you call that? Is that
audio descriptive?
Audio descriptive. That's right.
So what it is basically either a person is standing and telling you what's going on, and you have a little earpiece in your ear.
So you're hearing the movie.
Yeah, I'm hearing the movie.
And then you're hearing someone in your ear.
Yeah, the person only speaks when there's no dialogue.
Right, and sets up the scene.
And then after that, and then sometimes they'll have them pre-recorded. So that's my last audio descriptive movie. I went to go see the new Beauty and the Beast.
Right.
And that's what they did. They had it pre-recorded, and It's kind of funny. All the shows, the Disney shows at least have English speakers.
Oh,
Audio
really?
describing, yes. Like on Beauty and the Beast, I guess it's because it's set in England.
Right. I'm
So,
sure that's
like-
gotta be it. But it's kind of, counterproductive if they have someone with such a heavy accent that you're not understanding what they're describing to you because you need that description. But I bet it's beautiful though.
Yes.
To have them describe things for you to be able to understand what's going on. What is it that they say? Like, give me an example of how they set up a scene.
All right.
What would they say?
Okay, so they basically say she walks into a room and she puts down on her headphones and she did, like whatever it will say, whatever's going on, whatever you see on the screen, that's what they'll say.
Okay, and
So-
see, and for the hearing impaired, they would be having to have, because they're not hearing anything that's going on the screen.
So they would
So
have it
They
in-
have see
in
the
sign language.
captioning,
Yeah.
but what they don't miss in the captioning is someone signing it, and it helps them. It helps them understand it even more.
Yeah,
They
you
like
know,
that.
they don't have it here. I wish they did. And like the sign language, somebody signing it,
Mhm.
they don't have it here, but they do all over Europe.
They see, you're exactly right. The Texas,
I'm just saying.
the Capitan in Pasadena had for a while one of the theaters. They had people standing there, and they would interpret the movies for
Yeah.
people, and it was great. I thought it was a great idea. But my cousin and I would go to the show. She's deaf, and so she would just sit there and out the peripheral vision watch my hands, and my hand would be held close enough to where she could just see out of the corner of her eye because she wanted to keep watch on the action, what was going on the screen. And then I would sign things, and she, okay, I understand that. And she liked the action movies, of course, because there wasn't as much talking. And then when they would get in conversation, that would be boring for her.
Yeah.
But the description, I would imagine when they describe things, do they describe it by saying, "Oh, it's a beautiful blue and a beautiful purple"? It's something that you may not be able to relate to if you've never seen blue or purple.
It depends. Most of the time, they do describe if it's a blue background. Of course, they'll describe it. But
Right.
and then I don't know. I wish that Netflix just came out with audio description.
Oh, that's great. That's what I was
So
going to ask you.
they describe Netflix. They came out with it a year ago, I
Mhm.
guess, or I think they did it just this year, maybe. But I don't know why they don't do it. Why it took so long for them to figure this out? Because it's not that hard.
Well, that's what I'm fascinated by that. I'm so glad somebody has figured it out. But if you have some suggestions for them, we're going to come right back after this
Okay.
break, and you make those. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. We're talking to Carley Cremin. We're talking about things that come up that you wouldn't even think about if you were visually impaired that she has learned to conquer. The Cindy Cochran Show, Real Reality Radio. We're going to be right back. Don't go away.
Every week I get asked the same two questions. Am I ready to retire? Will my savings last for our lifetime? Hi, this is Chris Wooten with Wooten Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. If these two questions are on your mind, we'd like to help. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know you and includes a few meetings for you to kick the tires at no charge. We'll provide you with a one-page summary that helps you get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for you. To take the first step to a clear direction for your retirement, call Wooten Financial at 936-449-5952. That's 449-5952 or visit us on the web at wootenfinancial.com. That's WOOTTON financial.com. Get started today.
We're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are just joining us now and the first time you've heard us on 106.1, if you're going north and you go, what's happening to the signal? Then go over to 104.5 and pick us up again. And if you lose that, then go to the app that we have on irlonestar.com and you can listen to us on the phone all the way to China, because globally we are transmitted on irlonestar.com. And then if you just don't get enough, then you can go to YouTube and watch the visual part of the radio show, the Cindy Cochran Show, and watch it there. And then if you live in the Montgomery County area and you still haven't got enough, then you can go to Channel 12 on Suddenlink and watch it 9 a.m. and watch the Cindy Cochran Show. So, you know, and can you imagine, Carley, though, if they were trying to do an audio description of my show?
I don't even want to answer that. I mean,
Okay,
I want to answer it, but I don't. Okay, so it would be like,
Yeah.
Cindy comes in
Yeah.
late.
Yes.
She puts her headphones on.
Now, why did she have to go there? Why did you have to go there?
Well, when you're a long-time
Boy.
listener, Cindy, you get to know your habits.
That was so mean. You have been hanging out with Richard way too long.
I'm sorry,
Way
but you
too
want
long.
me to describe what's going on. I'm going to describe what's going on.
And so she's sitting there and just staring at this microphone and has
And she's embarrassed.
yes. I am red in the face.
And
Yeah.
Carly is going to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, Carly doesn't have to say she's sorry. Cindy loves when Carly tells her the truth. No, and I just don't want you to come on Truthful Tuesday. That's all I'm talking about.
I will come on Truthful Tuesday.
Tell us what's up, what's happening. Hey, you know what?
Because I will be forced to tell the truth.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I'm
Because
going to get in trouble one of these days.
no, you're not. No,
Not
you're
from you,
not.
but from somebody else.
No.
Because I always tell the truth.
Well,
I don't.
Well, then who are you afraid of getting in trouble with? The person that you say, you are feeling a little fat today. Thank you very much.
I don't say that because I
Okay.
can't see that.
Yes, but whenever you have to say, let me feel your face. Oh,
No,
yeah, Cindy.
no,
Cindy.
No, I don't feel.
No,
I
I
don't
only
feel
let you.
faces.
I only let you feel the thin side of my face. Oh, the good
Yeah.
side.
I-
People say, is this your good side or bad side? That's what they're talking about. I look much thinner from the right side than the left side. That's not true. That's not true. It's just all round. Anyway, I got to tell you something. Speaking of fat, the place that people I think are forgetting about to go eat at. Do you eat at Taco Cabana? Have you ever eaten at Taco Cabana?
Yes.
You think you have? Well, I'm telling you. Taco
Well,
Cabana.
it was close to her school. So.
Okay, well, Taco Cabana is amazing food, and they have a shredded beef now. Have you ever eaten at Taco Cabana, Richard? Are you a Taco Cabana person?
Yeah, I've been there a couple times.
Well, what would you get?
Oh, just breakfast tacos.
The breakfast taco, which are amazing.
Yeah, their
in them
tortillas
themselves.
are really good.
But the soft tortilla with the shredded beef and sour cream and guacamole. Oh my word, that's where I'm going to have to go stop. I just have to give a shout out. It's so good. It is amazing. The price is right. I think that's why they do well in college towns and stuff like that. I think the price is good. And they have the sopapillas that you can do for dessert if you can eat sugar. But they are, or honey, and they are so, it's really good. So if you haven't stopped by Taco Cabana, I mean, they're not a sponsor or anything. But I'm sure the Wooten Financial Group probably stops by there and eats at Taco Cabana. I don't know for sure, but anyway, it is a good place to eat. And here's my tip for the day. I'm not like a restaurant tour, person that does reviews on them, but you know what else is good is Burger King's morning breakfast croissant. It's the sausage, egg, and cheese. I'm telling you, nobody has one. No one has one better. I don't care where you think you've gotten your best bacon, egg, and sausage, egg, and cheese croissant. It doesn't matter. If you will go to Burger King right now, except for Conroe Coffee, they may have the best breakfast croissant with the Black Forest ham and the cheese and the egg and all that.
They'll have ham or bacon.
Yeah, but if you're going to do drive-through, Burger King is amazing. It's so fresh. The eggs you feel like your mom just got them out of the hen house and brought them in and cracked them up. It's so fresh, and the sausage. And I just had to.
I don't get to go
brag
to fast food anymore.
Well, it's probably best for your body. Your body's probably saying thank you. But I'm sorry. I have to brag on that. So if you're looking for a really good croissant in the morning and go over to Taco Cabana for lunch, I'm sorry. I had to get that out because when I find something good, I got to tell you about it.
How expensive is the Uber?
See, now the Uber may cost more than the breakfast. So
yeah.
If you're gonna go,
is it really worth it for the Uber or not?
I'm telling you, I loved when I found out. Carley was talking about how the visually impaired have just loved Uber because it makes them very independent. They're not having to call on some kind of service.
I'm not doing yoga anymore.
By
the way, I'm doing yoga, but Mom's gonna train me on yoga because apparently it's too expensive for them.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like you have to add that much money to whatever you're going to do if you're going to have Uber take you.
Well, it was $100 for the private class, so now I can see why.
Yeah, that's going to be too much. Plus, if Uber has to take you. But I'm telling you, if you can budget it in to be able to have Uber come and get you and take you someplace, and that helped the visually impaired. I never thought about that being
Uber comes right to my door. I don't, because she taught me where the handicap thing is.
Yeah.
But she's like, I was quite surprised. Uber come to my door, and I wait for them.
So great.
Which is good because I don't really want.
Yeah, and now if you're a gadabout like Carley is, then it's going to be really expensive. But if you can conserve and say, take me to this one place, and I can, it has all these different shops or these different places to go, is very cool. So I think it's great. And just imagine. I mean, this is what Carley said the other day. She says, I wish I could put blindfolds on everybody, and then have them follow, follow, and try and do what I have to do. And I thought that was a great.
I have a challenge for Leo, but I don't know if she will want to do it.
You want to blindfold her, have her make coffee?
Yeah, because that's what Randy has to go through. My previous boss. That's what he has to go through every 2 years. And I was just thinking,
what does he have to go through every 2 years?
He has to go under blindfold, working our equipment.
Okay, we're going to talk about that right after the break. That's really funny because she was a barista, Carley was, and worked at a coffee shop. And you go, what? Wait, how? What? If that's the first time you heard that, I've even got the video to prove it. Okay, we're going to be right back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Please don't go away. And we want to always think, and be thinking of our sponsor, Wooten Financial Group. Okay, guys, we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Every week I get asked the same two questions. Am I ready to retire? Will my savings last for our lifetime? Hi, this is Chris Wooten with Wooten Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. If these two questions are on your mind, we'd like to help. We have a simple, introductory client experience that allows us to get to know you and includes a few meetings for you to kick the tires at no charge. We'll provide you with a one-page summary that helps you get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for you. To take the first step to a clear direction for your retirement, call Wooten Financial at 936-449-5952. That's 936-449-5952. Or visit us on the web at wootenfinancial.com. That's WOOTTON financial.com. Get started today.
We're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Thank you so much for joining us. Wow, we appreciate you because we know you have so many choices. Yes, you do, but this is the most fun choice. So we appreciate it, and we are going to be finishing up our show right now, and then coming up is Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Asariati. I don't know, Nathan. Did I get it right this time? Asariati's like manicotti. I don't know. What you said? I don't know. Do you know the right pronunciation of that? Is it close enough? He's giving me a thumbs up. Close enough for jazz, right? Okay. All right, cool. All right, got it. He's coming up right after this. But, Carley, you had just you just told me that she worked as a barista in Austin, and so she's making coffee, and you're going like, how can someone who cannot see make coffee? And she did it. She has the video to prove it, and you were going to put it on my Cindy Cochran
I haven't
page.
done it
Okay.
yet.
All right, that's your challenge for today.
I'm sorry, I was gonna do it yesterday. I got distracted.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. Believe me, I understand. If you can imagine going into your Starbucks and the girl says, "What do you want?" and you say, "I love a grande
never
macchiato."
work at Starbucks.
Well,
I'm
it was
just
a coffee. It was a
yeah,
coffee shop.
Yeah.
And then you realize that she's visually impaired. She's going to make my latte, guacalu, cosale, whatever they do. They have such weird names for their coffees. But anyway, she's making the coffee for you, and you're going, how can she do that? But she did, and she was talking about the owner of this shop. For him to stay certified, having someone in there visually impaired would have to blindfold himself and make coffee.
Yeah.
And his stories about
every 2 years. Every 2 years.
And what did he say about the stories?
Okay, so this doesn't happen to him every time he does it, but sometimes he burns himself.
Oh my word!
So that's why he shows us, hold the pitcher by the handle, not. Don't hold it by the hot part, okay? Because you're gonna burn yourself, okay? Don't. I mean,
but you have all your own techniques, and they've taught you how to fill, it, where the cream, or whatever.
Yeah,
how they make the coffee.
It's ice. If it's an ice cup, you feel when it's getting colder, and if it's hot, then you can feel the heat. I mean,
see,
it's that
that's
simple.
so common sense, but it is something that if you ever try it yourself, blindfold yourself and make a cup of coffee, it's not easy. And I remember being, working with the hearing impaired, and they say, try and take these, these not ear stoppers.
Ear stoppers?
Not ear stoppers, but they said, take this, put this in your ear where you cannot hear anything, and it's hard. And then they put also like a headset over you to try and block out any sound, and then you go through your day, and let's see how your day goes. And so that's what I think, to keep ourselves aware, and the feeling like, okay, you are overcoming things that I would probably never be able to overcome, but you've done them, Carley, and you're an inspiration, Carley, to so many people. Do you love being called an inspiration?
Yes. I don't, whatever you want to call me, it's fine. Whatever anybody wants to call me.
Yes, you can call me inspired.
And I do want to let people know, my beepers, the police know about them now.
Well, I'm sure they're probably, what is that sound going off there?
Well, because somebody saw me crossing the street yesterday, and they were asking, I saw you with these beepers. I see you all the time with these beepers. What do they do? And I'm like, I showed them.
See, well, she told me, she says, hey, I just got complimented with my beepers. So I went, what? But the police told her that they recognized what was going on. And so, because her mama placed these beepers different strategic places so that she would know where to go. And then when she got to a certain point, she pushes this, looks like where you open up the car with, the clicker, and then she clicks on that, and the beepers go off, and she knows if she's going the right way. It's amazing. Carley, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you. And we love you, and we are inspired by you. So I just want to tell everybody that tomorrow we have Joey Sheaf and Jake, the engineer, will be back with us. I hate to lose you, Richard. It's been so much fun with you here.
I know.
And so,
Really?
so Jake will be back tomorrow, Friday, and we'll talk about all things that are going on around Conroe area and the world. Okay, guys, thank you. You're listening to Cindy Cochran Show, sponsored by the Wooten Financial Group, and we'll see you later. We out.
This program is sponsored by the Wooten Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wooten Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wooten Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wooten Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wooten Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wooten Financial Group, or any of their representatives.
Hi, this is Cindy Cochran, and I want to thank you for checking out The Cindy Cochran Show and invite you to listen live every weekday morning from 10 to 11 on FM 106.1 and on 104.5 and globally on irlonestar.com. The show you just fell in love with was recorded and will be posted on our podcast channels on iTunes and Google Play. You can even watch the show on our YouTube and on TV with our City TV Channel 12 on Suddenlink. So make sure to subscribe to keep up with me. My Facebook page, The Cindy Cochran Show, is always a good place to contact me through messages, to interact live on the air and ask questions, make suggestions, whatever. Special shout out to the show title sponsor, the Wooten Financial Group.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.